Well, each year America welcomes close to 900,000 legal immigrants to our shores. Of these, about 140,000, the majority of whom work in the tech sector, are granted something called a permanent residency. And for the rest, well, they're here on what is a temporary and often very specific work permit. Our Lisa Hines caught up with one such worker who has come to the States to follow her musical dream.
It's music night at Frank and Lola's in Bartlesville. Rockin' the room, the Kalo Band.
It's about grabbing the attention. I'm a stage person. I'm a performer.
Bat-or Kalo is a guitarist, singer-songwriter from Israel who loves playing the blues.
It's just something that I've learned from a very young age, how to play blues.
Now her style is not traditional blues.
Okay, so my music, I don't really know how to describe it. We just went to kind of a blues competition, kind of a music, me and my band, and it was awesome. It was awesome not just because we won, but it was awesome because everybody said, this is not blues, but we won. So, you know, everybody said it's interpretation, right? It's how you're interpreting that. But everyone that I see basically is playing that, you know, that. That's great. That's awesome. It's not for me.
Playing since 10, Bat-or is glad her father didn't listen to her mother, wanting to keep her playing classical guitar.
It was cool. They forced me to do that. It's hard to force me stuff, but that was one of the things that they managed to do. My parents, my teacher. They was like, you gotta learn how to play classic first. I'm like, no, I want to play electric. Well, I'm only flesh and blood, human in my heart, and ain't no preacher gonna save my soul. And, you know, there were all the boys in my class and, you know, the above me, you know, in school, in high school. They all were the cool people playing, you know, they have bands and stuff. And I'm like, what? I want to do that. That's cool. It looked like fun. So after a year of busting my and crying, I got my first electric guitar. And it was the happiest day of my life.
So Bat-or is making her own path.
And it's really scary. It's like, what are you doing? Everybody would say that you're crazy. You would have maybe 1 or 2, 3, if you're lucky, good friends that will push you over this edge. But then, you know, you gotta learn how to do that. And just fly.
And fly she is, all the way from Israel to Oklahoma, with a few stops along the way.
I was just jumping off a cliff. Still not sure if that was the right direction, but the wind was right. It's like, okay, let's do this. So I did. It was good. It was good. I jumped to New York first from Israel, and then, you know, I felt that I was like, all right, I'm done here. I'm not ready to go back to Israel, but I'm ready to learn more in other places. I think this is how I learned best. I was never a good student in school, sitting down, you know, in a class, but I was good when I needed to experience, when I needed to work with my hands or sweat or, you know, just do stuff, create stuff. So it was the best, but so I guess I'm taking myself places to learn. I went to school in OCU, in a college in Israel, Head College. They sent me here. I mean, you know, it was a student exchange, and it was my first jump, kind of by myself in America, because I really wanted from a very, very young age to come here.
Now, Bat-or lives and works here on a visa for someone with extraordinary abilities in the arts.
You know, it's a simple visa. It's a work visa, like any work visa. And just an artist visa, you know, it's like you have a chef. So a chef have to work in cooking, have to prove himself. We have, you know, a lot of people that work here, that move here to work. You have to prove yourself as a carpenter, as a chef, as a teacher, as a musician, as an artist.
But don't call her the I word.
I'm not an immigrant. I'm working here. I mean, you know, I'm on a visa. I'm very well taken care, pursuing my career, my life, myself. There are millions of artists in New York that I know that work around the world, and they carry this visa for many, many years. And, you know, just sort of kind of a way, you know, America is America. Yeah, it's all about exploring, you know. It's not about the visa, it's about exploring.
And proving herself.
How do I prove myself? I just keep playing. I try to talk less. I'm trying to keep it honest, but still very entertaining, because it's about my entertaining life. And so, you know, it's fun. What I do is maybe to put out a message, maybe just for you to forget the day, maybe just for you to believe in another dream that you have.
But at the end of the day, Bat-or Kalo is living her dream and loving it.
It gives me wings. That's all. It does, yeah. Gives me wings.